All right, everybody, can you hear me okay? Let me know you're out there. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can see. I know if you are out there and you attended my 8,000 sub giveaway, we had a massive delay. And I hope I got that fixed up. JBH Coins, thanks for letting me know. Chris Levine, thanks so much. Rolando Castaneda, you were in fact first in the chat. How you doing there, Fire Goat? As the title of this says, I had a box of $50 to hunt tonight. I really didn't want to make a video. I had the time to start a live stream, so I figured we'd hunt together, and if you guys had any questions or just wanted to chit chat, now would be the time. So feel free, ask any questions you have. I'm happy to answer them. We only got one box, so we can go pretty slow tonight. Remy, thanks for letting me know you can hear me. Matthew Merriman, I can hear and see you. How do you store your collection? Just curious what you prefer. I use binder pages with 2x2s and 2.5 by 2.5 flips. So I'm a little bit of a disaster when it comes to that. So I do, let me push this out of the way. I do a lot of these, right? Lots of the little Whitman albums. I have some of the nicer Whitman albums too. I do have a Dansko album for my American Silver Eagles. But I do have a lot of like the Whitman and I forget the other manufacturers, a lot of their little folders there. And then I do store my nicer stuff or my older stuff, well, a lot of my older stuff, in 2x2s in a binder like this, right? And I can tell you my entire Walking Liberty collection that I've been working on is in this as well. So I also have 3 or 4 red boxes full of 2x2s. That I store stuff that way as well. And then things like, 38 through 59 nickels, I just roll them up and crimp the ends and put them in a box. Most of my silver is, I try to keep at least 1 or 2, usually 1 of each unique piece I have in a plastic capsule, like a 38, 39, or 40 millimeter capsule. And then everything else that's extra goes into tubes. My $50 and such, they all go in tubes. So yeah, most of my silver stuff goes in tubes. The stuff that I'm putting in here, it's all collection, right? I want to get every year and every mint mark. So hopefully that answers your question. So how many do we have? We've got 17 folks in the chat, which isn't bad considering I just threw this up. But Matthew, did that answer your question or did you have more? All right, good. Yeah, I have a lot of the Whitman books, and they're not all by Whitman. I have some of the other ones. I just can't recall who the manufacturer. Sorry, I need to talk into the microphone here. Like, it's the H.E. Harris. I've got a lot of the Harris books. So if you've watched my quarter album or my quarter hunts, I do have a couple of different albums there, not all by Whitman, but they make good little folders. They're not the best, they're not. If I had a really high dollar collection, I would go with Dansko, or I'd get the higher dollar Whitman folders, but they do in a pinch. So hey, Coin Flip, how are you? So I got a couple of you in here. Remy and Coin Flip, did you guys get your packages from the 8K giveaway? I want to make sure everything got there all right. Everybody's stuff did go out. I think I had one person who didn't claim their prize, and it was somebody who won rolls. It was a couple of just NIFCs. Oh, good. Coin Flip, glad you got that copper round. It's a nice round, so good for you. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know, Remy. And one of you guys may have let me know an email, but just thought I'd ask since I had you. So let me get this box back in here so you guys can see it. And I've already opened it, just so you know. I've already looked it over. We are going to have some 2021s, but I did not see any silver. enders or anything like that. So I'm going to just start opening some rolls and we'll have a little chat. I'm not trying to sell anything tonight, or at least not trying to sell rolls or anything. But if you guys want to do an auction or do want to like look at some silver, I'm happy to pull some out. But really, this was just time we could spend together. We could open some rolls and have a chit chat. So it went well, Adam Franklin. Thanks for asking. I need to live stream more than I do, but I thought it was a lot of fun. It went kind of without a hitch. So had lots of good winners. I think we only had one person win twice, which was good. But he did win two really nice things. He won, I think, the trifecta of 90% silver halves, and he won it was like 75 cents in silver constitutional. All right, Jack Ross, cool. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, he ended up getting a Standing Liberty, a 64 quarter, I think a Merc dime, a Rosie dime, and I think a War nickel. It was XG. He won all the constitutional silver that night, so did really, really well. All right, well, without further ado, I'm going to start jumping into some rolls, and you guys, seriously, any question you have. Well, I won't say nothing's off limits, but for the most part, nothing's off limits. So anything you guys want to know. So Adam Franklin, guess what happened yesterday? I was at the bank depositing coins. Elderly lady came in and told them she had some older rolls, all $50 that she wanted to deposit. And what did you do? What's up, Hunting Southwest Ohio? How are you, buddy? I got to hear the end of this story, Adam. Hopefully you were able to get some of it. What are you up to tonight, Rick, other than hanging out with us for a few minutes? If you guys have any questions about what I'm looking for, what I'm doing, happy to get into that into some detail. So if you guys are, I always say in my videos, new to coin roll hunting, I know I recognize a lot of you guys, but if you're real curious at what I'm looking at, I'm happy to slow down and do a deep dive into that today. And I hate that little tiny corner that I have down there. Hey, Ken McClure, thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. This is a 71D, so I'm looking for doubling here in the I and in the N. And then we always want to check out that word trust, but it ain't there. Justin Scholes, the oldest $50 I've ever found in a roll. I don't remember the exact year. I want to say it was a 1907 or a 1914 or something like that barber. That's the oldest $50 I've ever found. And I think in my whole career doing this, I've only found like 2 barbers ever. Oh, you're finishing your the spreadsheet. Hey, Justin Schultz, thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. I got lots of good coin roll hunts out there, so make sure you take a look. I recommend starting with the Epic Silver Hunt playlist because that has all the good stuff in it. Something else I just did there, I learned from, and I'll do it slower next time, Enigma Coin Collector, because he used to have to wrap all of his rolls, and I used to watch him do it on his live stream, and I was like, how does he just pick up a roll of $50 and get it in that wrap like that? And so I watched him over and over again. I was like, I can do that. So we got it figured out. Sorry, I'm grabbing a box to put these in. So let's see here. Deal Smith, welcome to the stream. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Is there a more preferred box brand that you think will produce more silver? So that's I won't say a loaded question, but it's very regional. It depends on where you live, the banks you have. Near me, it's all the big banks, right? It's Ameris, it's Wells Fargo, it's Brinks, it's Chase. I have very few small banks, and the small banks we do have are like state credit unions, right? Which I'm not a member of most of those credit unions. So I'm relegated to the big banks. I have found in Georgia that the overwhelming majority of my silver has come from Brinks boxes, and that's why on my channel you see almost, at least in the last 18 months or so, almost exclusively Brinks rolls, and that's why. the banks that do get Loomis boxes, I've just kind of stopped ordering them. And when you do see, when they have Loomis, I stopped ordering from places that do Loomis because they just produce very little silver. And I've just stopped ordering at most of those places. So when you do see Loomis videos on my channel, it's because Fifth Third, who does most of my ordering now, that's what the Brinks people brought. They brought Loomis boxes. So, but I see lots of people on YouTube find lots and lots of silver in Loomis boxes. One roll at a time seems to do just fine on Loomis boxes. Now, I will say with Loomis, I was finding more errors and I was finding more proofs, but found very, very little silver. Oh, Ronald, I just got started. We're just doing one box tonight. We're just hanging out. Nothing special, not selling rolls, not doing anything there. But as I said earlier, I mean, if you guys want to do an auction or something at the end or, you know, something like that, I'm happy to do it. But this was really just more about me being a little lazy and not wanting to film a video tonight. And I really just want to hang out and talk with some people. So you got here just in time. Michael Wells, you were absolutely right. CoinRoll RNG is going to vary greatly. And if you guys aren't following Halftime, Chris Kubal, he posted a short today. I guess he picked up a manila envelope full of $50 from a bank or a credit union today. And he showed the inside. It's loaded with silver. He pulled out one handful, and I think there were 7 or 8 silver coins in one handful. It was absolutely crazy. So I can't wait for him to post that video. So make sure you check him out. Also, if you do have a channel, if you do !me, feel free to do that from time to time. Just don't spam the chat. That'll give you guys a shout out for your, a link to your own channel. So make sure you're doing that if you have a channel. And I'll thank Hunting Southwest Ohio for giving that to me. So let's see here. I know I missed one. Most expensive coin I found from Justin Schultz. That's a tough question as well. The most expensive coin that I've found was actually a current quarter, a 2022 Wilma Mankiller planchet, cracked planchet. I sold it for almost $300. I've got a couple of coins that are in the $80 to $150 range that I've found. And then I have a few that, depending on the grade, could compete with that. But I would say, the 1853 seeded quarter I found is up there. I think it was like a 1914 Barber would be up there. I found some decent coins. And I want to get my transitional 1988 penny graded because I think that, if in the right grade, could be worth a whole lot of money as well. Let's see here. Adam, still hope to find a Benji or Walking Liberty someday. I took your advice and ordered a tube of Benjis from Monument Metals on back order for about a week. I'm a big fan of Monument Metals. I wish they had an affiliate program. I just think they typically have some of the lowest prices on the web, for an online bullion dealer. At the same time, they don't have a huge selection. And if you are just getting into stacking, they're running a fantastic deal. 5 ounces, 5 Indian rounds for spot. So, you can end up with today's spot price. If you go price everything right, you can get 8 or 9 ounces of silver for $200 and get it delivered free. So let's see here. I always want to ask about that bank name, Fifth Third. Hey man, they're just a bank near me. It's a northeastern bank, and it's a 5/3, right? It's a math symbol, 5 divided by 3. The Fifth Third Bank, and their motto for the longest time was, "We do banking a fifth third better," which I think is a fun slogan. So let me get through some coins because I'll sit here and yap all night if you guys let me, and then I'll come back and we'll answer some more questions. So nothing there. So here's, if I can do it right, I made a big deal out of it a minute ago. The move. All right, you want to have your little handy dandy wrapper ready. And it's whatever hand you feel comfortable in, and in they go. So let's see here. Do you happen to live in Kennesaw? No, I live very close to Kennesaw, though. It is entirely possible, Justin, that was me. I hit all the major areas around where I live. I won't say I have a real well thought out rotation, but I feel like, the banks near me, once I've hunted them to death, I'll go up to Kennesaw, I'll go out to Roswell, I'll go out to Gwinnett, I'll go towards downtown Atlanta. You've probably seen some of my shorts. I'll even, when I'm down that way, I will swing by banks near the Atlanta airport. So I typically stay close to home, but I've been known to venture out. And Kennesaw is 15 minutes away. So if a collector just dropped off 1,000 in halves, it very well could have been me. This is the 7070, and I can tell you that hunting Southwest Ohio finds that error or that DDO all the time. I have never found one, but I get about 5 7070s in an entire box. So Justin, you live nearby? Are you in the kind of metro Atlanta area? Since you know Kennesaw, I'm assuming so, and you stopped by a bank up there. Adam says, do I have issues ordering boxes? Do you have a business name or something that you are able to do it through? So no, I don't have a business account anywhere. Yes, I have trouble ordering boxes from time to time, and even the places that will order me boxes, time to time, they just don't show up. I know Fifth Third just put in a new ordering system, and they let me know that, some weeks they're going to try to order me stuff. And if the system says they can only order 3 boxes for the bank that week and they need business customer boxes, I'm not getting my boxes. I've had a Wells Fargo cut me off completely. I say completely. They won't let me order boxes anymore, but they will let me get as much customer wrapped or bank wrapped that they have in the branch. So when I go in, if I just say, hey, can I get, $250 in quarters and $100 in dimes and whatever, they'll peel it out. They just won't order me boxes. So this is a 1974. We always look for the DDO, and the telltale sign is right. Let's see if I can do it with this. It's right there on the bottom of the 4, kind of where I'm pointing here. If you see a little notch right there, you know you have it. I mean, it's usually really obvious in the word trust or up here in the Y or the T, but if you see that notch in the 4, you know you have it. Let's see here. What was the ordering boxes question? I've had better luck ordering boxes from smaller bank branches, even if I have to wait 7 to 10 to get it. So, to your point, the Wells Fargo near my house, they won't order for me anymore, but I've had other Wells Fargo branches further from my house say ordering for me would be no problem. But I typically don't order with those branches because they would get Loomis stuff. So I typically don't order from them. And you are right. Each branch is different. Each branch manager is different. So what works at one bank might not work at another, and what isn't working at one branch may work fine at another. Now, I think that's going to be a faker. I don't know. Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? Got a guy right there. It looks kind of gray. Let me know in the chat. Is that going to be silver or no? I want to hear from you. Hey, Muscle Shell, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so Michael, I have found some credit unions around me with coin machines. Most of them only do $200 before they charge a fee. And that's real frustrating for me, so I haven't bothered to open an account. What's up, Emil? Do you love Benji's? I think it's going to be a faker too. I just want to hear from you guys. Justin says silver. Everyone else says no, so let's check it out. Justin wins the prize. Look at that. 1968. See if I can get that to focus. 1968 Denver in the box. Good call, Justin. I wasn't sure. I thought it would be a faker. Let's see if we've got a DDO on this thing. If you guys are coin roll hunting and you are not checking your silver for DDOs, you need to start. Especially on the 1964. I have found a fair number of DDOs on my 1964s and triple dies as well. So thanks, guys. Hey, good call there, Justin. You had more faith than I did. That's right. Emil loves Benjis. So, Rolando, why do you say credit unions suck? I'd love to hear from you because I hear others say credit unions are the best for coin roll hunters. 8 boxes a week. So Timothy says, I get 8 boxes a week for my wife from my Wells Fargo since March. 5 branches near me that won't order at all. Yeah, that's just, it backs up what I was saying. So, Michael, I'm going to show you, 40% can be hard because of what I just showed you, because you will have fakers, and I'm not on the main screen anymore. Let me switch back. You will find fakers with an edge like this. You will find 1971s, 73s, 74s that look like that, so I agree with you. And that's why I was asking the audience, because I get fooled from time to time as well, just like I was on this last one. But just so you guys know, I'm not cheating here. This is a 1964 just off camera. I'm going to put it in the middle. So this is not part of the... You cannot miss a 90% silver in the middle of a roll. That is nearly impossible to miss. Now, I have missed 90% silver in a roll because it looked more like this coin, because it was badly, tarnished and dirty and probably was like a metal detector target. So that's the other reason that even when, I'm not doing a real good job hunting for varieties, that I will still look at every coin because I don't want to miss something. An NIFC 2015 with something wrong with it. I don't know what they were doing. It feels like plastic, like somebody melted a candle on it. We'll throw that up on the board as a find. We'll look at that 71 in a second. All right, so coin roll hack number 2. Wherever I put them, where did I put them? I didn't roll that up, did I? Oh no, this is the roll that I was going to say. So this roll, I don't roll up, I put it aside. And then every future roll that I have to take a coin out of, like an NIFC, I pull it off of my little side stack so I can instantly make another roll of 20 and keep going. So those I just put off to the side, and that becomes my backfill. So let's see here, and unless you get the black ones, that's what I was saying. Yep, my credit union will order as much as I want, but won't take it back for free. I've heard of that too. I know Silver Seeker had to pay to get boxes and pay to return them. John, that's not uncommon. Most banks in Atlanta need 3 to 4 days to get a box. So I have banks that order on Mondays and they come in Wednesdays or Thursdays. I have banks that order on Tuesdays. They come in Thursdays or Fridays. So, I mean, that's shorter than a week, but being in a small town and taking a week is not that unusual. So, hey, Ronald, let me grab this. This is one of the first books I completed. Give me a second. And I will say I cheated, but this book, Whitman folder, when I first got into the hobby and collecting silver, SD Bullion was doing, it was like a roll, or I think it was a $25 worth of 90% silver halves at Spot. And Spot back then was like $17 or $16 or something like that. And I ended up doing 1 or 2 of those. I can't remember. And that filled probably 3/4 of this book just with that. So these are not all from coin roll finds. That came from one of my epic hunts where we found all the proof Benjis. I went ahead and stuck one of those in here because I got so many of them. But this was the first book that I ever completely filled. And it was all the Benjis, which is pretty cool. Emil would love this book. Let's see here. For the first box of halves, they got it on Tuesday, but they had a system error, so they can't give me the box. That's weird. Proof $50, not fruit? I don't know what that means. Let me know what you mean by that, Fire Goat. So most of the time, credit unions will not sell you coins unless you have an account. That is absolutely true. Real quick story, Rolando. I went into a credit union just looking for loose change from the tellers. They had an Ike dollar. I tried to give them a dollar bill for the Ike, and they asked me if I had an account. And I said no, and they said I was welcome to fill out an account if I wanted that Ike dollar. And I said, can I see it? And it wasn't silver, so I told them they could keep it. Sadly, had it been silver, I probably would have filled out the paperwork. What's up, American Eagle Order? How are you, buddy? When I search for wheat pennies, do you return to the bank any that are not errors or low mints, or do you keep all? I keep all wheats. I say all wheats. I did return 20 or 30 of them recently because they were so badly damaged and dirty and disgusting that I can't put them in a book. You could hardly tell they were wheat pennies. So yeah, I'll return that kind of stuff. Even though it's copper, I'll still return it. Let somebody else find it. Justin Schotz, I never return coin. So ordered coin never goes back to the same bank that I ordered it from. Now, if I pick up loose coin, like 10 rolls of quarters, I will take those back to the same bank from time to time. Let's see here. I'm on my second book also with proofs. That's awesome, Emil. I couldn't do a whole book full of proofs. That is definitely true. Let's see here. Michael Wells said, I had my first full box of halves last night, 1% fine, so quite a bit lower than my average for other types. American Evil Hoarder, I'm great. Bought some dimes from a local coin hunter and just going through them now. That's awesome, man. Hopefully you got a good deal on them. Hopefully you got a good deal. I made a couple of big silver purchases back in August and September, and I'm kind of on hold right now because I ordered a bunch of the new enhanced. Well, I have 3 or 4 subscriptions for the, I think it's the 2023 enhanced reverse proof. Like, I can't even remember, Silver Eagles or Morgans and Peace Dollars or something. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I want to say they're like $179 a pair or something like that, $179 a set. So, and I think they're supposed to come out in November, so that'll be a big like $500 purchase for me, and that's kind of pushing what my wife likes me spending in a single go. So I'm going easy this month so that next month she can't yell at me. Well, I guess she could, but huge week. Timothy Meyer says 14 silvers, a 52 P&D, 58 664s, 540s. It's been a while, but you can find them if you don't. You can't find them if you don't look. That is the truth. I love the people that come into my shorts and they say this whole coin roll hunting thing is bunk because they hunted a box once and didn't find any silver. And I'm like, so let me get this straight. You hunted one box one time and it was a skunk. Therefore, I am cheating and lying. And I'm like, are you the same guy that goes into a gas station and buys one $1 lottery ticket and loses and then says, hey, the lottery's rigged and nobody ever wins? Because that's kind of how it works. $73, we'll look at that one. Let me switch over to my microscope real quick just to make it nice and big for me. Maybe big for you guys too. So no doubling there in trust. A little funky looking eye. And the 73 DDO was another one that I get very, very few of. I think I have 2 of them ever. Oh, I know. Let them believe it. It is more for us. And I mean, I've wasted my breath trying to convince people that I don't cheat on my channel, because I don't. Hey, Deal Smith, thanks for the subscription. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, I've wasted my breath on it, and I've kind of just gotten to the point now where I go, you know, believe what you want. I'm not going to change your mind, but trust me, everything I do is legit. So. And for those of you that are just getting here, we're going slow tonight. We're just here to really hang out and chat while I slowly hunt this dollar box. And I'm on roll number 8. So we got a lot more to go. Yeah, so Jordan, the issue with half dollars is it's a little bit sink or swim. I mean, well, I won't even say that. You're either going to get real lucky and every box will have 1 to 4 or 5 or 6, or you'll go 20 boxes in a row with nothing, and then out of nowhere you'll get that crazy box that has 20, 30, 40, 50, 80, 100 silvers in it, right? It's just luck of the draw, man. It really is. And I do think it's regional and it depends on where you live. I mean, if there's lots and lots of, and please forgive me for saying this, but lots and lots of old people and, you know, and they're giving away their collections, or, you know, they pass and, you know, some family member gets the collection and they don't know what to do with it and it all gets dumped back at the bank. I mean, that's how a lot of this stuff hits circulation. So, I know there's a lot of other coin roll hunters that have a lot more luck than I do, but this year's been good to me. I've had a good steady stream of silver. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just going back, guys. Rolando said found 6 rolls of bank wrap state quarters last week if anybody wants to buy them. Emil, yes, Morgan and Peace reverse proofs. That's what they are. I've got 3 or 4 subscriptions to those. Junk silver this weekend. I do buy junk from time to time. I prefer to find it though. But yeah, every now and then you'll find me buying some dimes or quarters. I don't buy halves too much anymore because I find them more than anything. Michael, I tend to cycle as well. Right now I'm a little bit back on a half and dollar kick, but I definitely go through and try to hunt everything. I'm struggling lately to hunt pennies. I started a box like 2 weeks ago. It's like the 3rd time I've done it, and I got about a third of the way through the box and pushed it aside to do other things. Halftime is the channel, JW Hagen. It's called Halftime. Richard Lines, when you say you don't return coin to the same bank, do you mean the same bank location or are you referring to the same bank name? I mean location. So if I get, you know, let's pretend I ordered a box of halves from a Wells Fargo a mile up the street. I'll return it to a Wells Fargo 5 miles away, right? Because the bank 5 miles away doesn't know that it was ordered by Wells Fargo. They have no idea. Hunted a box of halves. All right, we talked about that one. Yeah, that's right, Michael. We can turn our losing numbers back into the bank, but lottery tickets just lose. I don't believe you can order Ikes anymore. I asked a bank the other day about it, and they were like, we don't think so, and we don't ever see them anymore. Skunking is part of the hunt. Let's see here. Rolando, I remember once many years ago, bank had a bank bag, $1,000 in Ikes. I would have bought that. And my coin shop up the street, they buy Ikes for $1.25 or $1.30. So if you, let's say it was $1.30, if you bought $1,000 in Ikes, you just made $300 going to the coin shop up the road. 260 Wheaties. I mean, I'm now to the point where if I can find 5 Wheaties in a box, I'm happy. It's the Wheaties have gotten really, really slow, and that's the other reason I struggle hunting pennies. Hey, Brian Robison, good to see you. Do I keep copper pennies? Yes, I do, Vincent. So I have found that most of my penny hunts now, they're almost more a hunt for copper than anything else. I think we might have another silver in here, boys and girls. It almost got by me. Right there. We're not going to vote on this one because I'm sure. Could you guys see that? I'm not going to, here, I'm going to hold it way up here. Hopefully you guys can see the, I can't get the light to reflect off it right. It's right here, right there. It's another 1968. It's a double silver on this box that I figured was going to be a little bit of a loser. Who knew? That is awesome. Let me update my board here real quick. I didn't really have it ready because I didn't think we were going to find anything. Let's see. We've got one NIFC, 2 40%ers. Look at that. That's awesome. And Vincent, if you're curious, so here's my side stash. We are going to put that just right up front so that I have 20 coins again. So yeah, I do. I've probably got, I don't know, $150, $200 face value in copper pennies sitting around the house. Let's see here. I like you loaded so silver in those. Oh, I know. Yeah, Taz, I load all my rolls. You just saw it happen, right? That wasn't a real Brinks roll that I really pulled out live on camera and really opened it and found silver in it. Who would you pay to buy or what would I pay? So I'm super cheap. I mean, I would definitely shop around and try to get whoever was doing it the lowest, but a roll of dimes, keep in mind, I haven't looked at prices lately. For a long time, I was trying to find a roll of dimes for under $100 because, most constitutional silver was around 20 times face. So a roll of dimes should be, was going 100, 110. I mean, right now, I'd be trying to find 17 times face somewhere to maybe 18 times face is what I would really be trying to get if I could find it. We've got a 2006 NIFC, a little fine for the hunt. And stuff you hear me putting aside, it's all stuff we're going to look at under the scope here in just a second. I got to pull me another to get me back to 20. So what are you seeing out there, American Eagle Hoarder? Yeah. So J.W. Hagan, was that the comment about Ikes or was that something else about being able to order them? Even if it was a DDO, it would be worthless. It was so beat up. At 77 eludes me. All right, nothing there. Just to make sure I did my math right here. Yep, we did. And I guess let me move this way so you guys can see it. I've heard people say you can order them, depends on the $2,000. All right, hard to buy silver for under 20x for me. Constitutional silver, look at Monument Metal, especially if you buy in quantity, they're under 20x right now. Let's see here, Justin says when you get a box, and they said I can't get full boxes because they have restrictions. I've heard the coin shortage story as well. That has not been given to me as the reason that I couldn't order a box, but I have heard others talk of such coin shortage. DeMafia, I don't know if I caught your message earlier because my internet went out. I got 2 proof bicentennial quarters from my bank, and I really don't know how to tell if they are silver. I am new to this. I'd have to look at the weight. So what I would do, DeMafia, is go on like PCGS and look at they're going to be San Francisco minute if they're proofs. Check out the weight on a silver proof bicentennial and weigh it. You could also do a ping test. You could drop it and see what it sounds like. If it's clad, it'll sound like any other quarter in your pocket. If it's silver, it will sound different if you drop it on like a tabletop, right? A wooden table or marble table or something like that. So Michael, I don't believe there were ever coin shortages, and banks that told me that they couldn't order me halves because there was a coin shortage, I always laughed at and said, who's coming in here asking for $50 other than me? I hunt halves every single week. So Tex-Mex, how much is 20x? That is a way to gauge constitutional silver easily, and it means 20 times face for 90% silver. So if you have two 90% half dollars, it means it's worth $20. That's what those two $50 would be worth. So that's what we mean when we say 20x. So 10 90% dimes would cost $20. If it were 18 times face, 10 90% dimes would be $18. So Michael, I've definitely run into a lot of banks where they tell me they have other collectors. They almost never say coin roll hunters. But I have to assume some of the, because sometimes I refer to myself as a collector. And that's just because Coin Roll Hunter to the average person may sound a little silly from time to time, I guess. So it's just easier. People understand what a coin collector is. So that's what I tell a lot of the banks, especially ones that I don't go into often. But yeah. Now, the banks that I'm in all the time, they know exactly what I'm doing. I mean, as soon as I walk in, they're like, what do you want? Let us see if we have it. And then the next question is, did you find anything cool with the last set of coins we gave you? That's always the question. And sometimes I bring them in, like I'll flip them up and bring them in and show the tellers. And then I ask them to make sure that they're not pulling all that crap out so I don't get it. Another story I'll repeat from a long time ago. I've only been, and as you guys, if you follow my channel, this is all you ever get to see. I've never been on camera. You've never seen my face. I've never said my real name. And I had a guy at a bank actually chase me out of the bank to ask me if I had a YouTube channel. And I said, maybe. And then he called out the name of my YouTube channel because he recognized my voice, which I thought was really, really strange. But also kind of cool to be recognized from your voice. So that was kind of neat. Who's carrying? Well, I wouldn't say just because they're carrying boxes out of the bank. There's a 2021, not in an IFC, but I got asked the other day. I think Walker Magnet asked me if we get a lot of 21s here in Georgia because I think he's in Tennessee or Alabama. Yes, we do. Not in this box per se, but I get lots and lots of them. Back to the other question about how often do I hunt halves. I said every week. I don't live stream that often, as most of you probably know very well. But I do hunt halves almost every week. Obviously, when the bank doesn't get them, I can't hunt them. But I have a standing order for $50 every week. So that was roll number 11 for those of you keeping count. I got to be honest, if I heard your voice at my bank, I would know it was you. You have a distinct voice. Well, I appreciate that. Hopefully it's a distinct voice in a good way. Not that, oh my God, he's so annoying I could pick him out of a crowd because he hurts my ears. Did he ask for a picture? No, he didn't. I think he was just quite pleased with himself that he recognized me and wanted to be sure, which I get. I mean, I've run into celebrities that I wasn't quite sure because they were in a hat or whatever. And all I want to know is, were they who I thought they were? So I get it. I just thought it was neat to be a little bit of a celebrity for just a second in somebody's mind. That 1981 I went past was I think that was a mint coin. Where did it go? Look at the edge on that. That probably got popped out of a mint set. Or was like in a mint roll that recently hit the bank. Just super thick. A D. I mean, just look at the finish on it. I know it's real small, but there's hardly a mark on it. The other thing that got me noticed somewhere, but they didn't, you know, I won't say they didn't say anything to me, but I have a little blue bin that I carry around with me for when I get customer rolls, and somebody recognized the bin once. And I didn't give them a chance to get to the end. They were like, I've seen that bin somewhere before. And I was like, yeah, you might have. And I left. So I see there are S's. They don't have a full silver edge, but aren't they only 40% silver? So they would have. So the 40%, if you see a copper color in there at all, it is going to be clad. So if it's all gray and off gray to Mafia, then it could be 40%. But if it looks, you know, I mean, just any one of these. If you have anything, darn it, sorry. If you have anything that even remotely resembles an edge that looks like that, then it is just clad. I lost track of my count. Sorry, guys. 5, 5. Thank you. I knew I picked up a bunch of coins over on the side. Let's see here. Still waiting on a price for a no FG Kennedy. John, I thought I emailed you back. I put 2 of them in my store. You can go out there and see the price. As soon as you asked me about it, or well, the second time you asked me about it, I found 2 of them and put them in my store. So they're out there. So apologies, I thought you knew that, and I was surprised you hadn't ordered one yet. Imagine that guy that chased you is on the live now. That'd be pretty funny. Could be. It's a small world. Let's see here. What do you think of the American Women's 3-set roll program PDS, given their popularity? I'm also doing the Silver Series. So I don't feel one way or another about the 3-set pieces. I try to stick to the silver stuff that I get from the mint in American Silver Eagles, the Morgans, the Peace Dollars, especially anything it's like enhanced reverse proofs, that sort of stuff. I'm not a big buyer of a lot of the other program stuff from them. So I'm not going to say it's good or bad. It's just not for me. John Peak. Hopefully that answers your question. There should be a donate button somewhere. If you're just looking for a donation button down below. Also, if you want to donate, if you guys do feel like doing that, I do have my PayPal link and my Cash App and all that stuff in this little box over on the right-hand side. Because if you do a super chat, just so you guys know, YouTube keeps half of it. Well, about 40% of it. So if you do feel like throwing me a buck or two, by all means, feel free to use one of the other methods as well. Because then I get all of it minus like 3% rather than all of it minus 40%. Do I sell airs and stuff on eBay? Ronald Lopez. So I'm starting to sell less and less on eBay and trying to move stuff to my own store, which means it's going to sit there for a very long time. But yes, I will occasionally sell stuff on eBay if it's something I want to move. Like that 2022 Man Killer quarter I put on eBay because at the end of the day, I wanted lots and lots of people to see it and for it to get bid up. So, but if it was something where I said, look, it's a $200 coin and that's the most I'm going to get for it, I'll throw it in my own store, and I'd rather just keep all the money because eBay takes 15%, 18%, something like that. American Eagle hoarder. No one wants to run into me. I'm pretty. Now for my Camaro, on the other hand, that's funny. At my coin shop, I'm getting one face value, 90% silver. 18. So that's Deal Smith. 18x is pretty good at a local coin shop, at least for me. Most of my LCSs are 2 to 4 times face higher than online bullion dealers. So I don't have the opportunity to buy a lot of stuff for my LCS just because they're so darn expensive. And the guy's willing to cut a deal, but you got to buy like a $500 bag, which I'm never going to do. I mean, it's too much. The barrier to entry is too high. I'm not going into the guy's shop and dropping $15,000 or whatever he wants me to do, you know? For some reason, my chat keeps stopping, so I don't see it scrolling up there. Any ideas on why halves and dollar coins are not used often? Even in Europe, they use €1 coins. So, the U.S. If you go look at the mintages on the 2000 Sacagawea dollar, that was the U.S. Mint's push to get Americans to move away from the paper dollar and move to the coin. They made like 1 billion or something of them, and they failed. Americans rejected the dollar coin. So that's why kind of so quickly after that, they started reducing mintages. Then they went to the presidential dollars and reduced, and now they're on the Native American and the innovation dollars, and their mintages are in the low millions, 2, 3, 4 million, because Americans they don't want to do it. It's like the metric system in the 80s. I think it was the 80s. There was a big push to move all of our mile markers to meters and kilometers. And they were going to phase it in over time, and people literally revolted, and that's why we still use the mile on the interstate. So any ideas on why halves and dollar coins are not used often? I just answered that. Are you looking forward to the new potential errors? Oh, I'm always looking for potential for new errors. Actually, my best performing video of all time, and I think my second best performing video of all time, has been on identifying errors on the 2022 quarters. The Anime Wong and what was the other one? I think it was the 2021 Crossing the Delaware. I did very, very, very well on those videos. And so anytime I can find something no one else has found or explain it better than anybody else or as well as some of the best people out there, I'll maybe put it that way. Those videos do great. I love finding the stuff and I love making that content. What's the value of an 82p no FG? I would have to look that up, Richard, and it would depend greatly on the grade. I'll pull up PCGS. We'll look at that together here in a second. I'll show you how to do that if you don't know anything about that website. So let me get through this roll, and we'll do that together real quick. I know I just threw away 71. I just don't want to look at another one. Look at that. There was 5 71s in this thing. All right, I'll pull it. So let me check these. We'll go over to PCGS, and we'll give that a look real quick. I hate the 71 because I look at 100 of them per box and probably find an error 1 out of every 2,000 that I look at. So it's just a lot of coins to look at. At least it's relatively fast. All right. Let's see here. American Eagle order. What proofs have copper edges? All proofs have copper edges except silver proofs. So if they're orange, they are not silver. DeMafia. So I don't buy ASEs typically directly from the mint. I usually get, you know, like I said, their reverse proofs and stuff like that. Or if they have like the San Francisco mint ones you're not going to find anywhere else for too much cheaper, I'll get those from the mint. All right, let me get this set up real quick and we will, sorry if this is loud, I'm moving my microphone a little bit. So hopefully you guys can see this. PCGS.com, if you want to know what something is worth, go into the price guide. And keep in mind, this is like comic books or anything else that's collectible. These are book prices. This is if you get it graded, if you spend the money to put it in the holder, and it gets the grade you think, and you put it at auction, and you know it's the best you're going to get. It's what the book, quote unquote, says it's worth. So the question was an 82p, or was it a 72p no FG? Can't remember. It was an 82p no FG. Yeah, 82p. So once you drill into what you're looking for, you can scroll down and find the year and mint mark. So here's the 82p. You'll see there's a little plus sign. There it is, the no FG FS901. So in an MS60, it's only worth about 28 bucks. If it's mint state 67, it's worth about $3,500. So you can see there is a vast difference between these two grades. I would argue most of the ones you're going to find in the wild are not going to make it to MS60. So typically when you find them, you might be lucky to get, you know, $8, $10, $12, $15 for them. But if they're in really nice, you know, high grade, you know, try to sell it for 20 or 25, see what you get for it. So hopefully that helps. John Peak, welcome to the fan club, sir. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for being a member, joining. The FG has to be pretty much gone. Not even pretty much gone. If you could see the F or the G at all, it is not a no FG. PCGS also, and I guess I'll do this again. Let's come back over here. That no FG, if you click on the item number over here, it will pull up the coin, and then you can come in and see, and like their coin, it's not I can barely see an F and a G. There is no F or G, right? It is completely gone. So if you can see a little bit of F or a little bit of G or the stem of the F or the curl of the G or what have you, it will not qualify if you send it in to get graded. Well, Ronald Lopez, thanks for joining. Have a good evening. Yeah, so that's what I was saying, coin flip. The 82 no FGs, they have to be in pretty good shape or they're just not gonna move. The 72D no FG, that'll move. I think I sold one of those on eBay 2 years ago for like 50 or 60 bucks. So yeah, that happens. All right. Let's keep going. We're seriously on roll 15. I got to stop yapping and start hunting here, but this is what I really wanted, guys. I enjoy chatting with you. I enjoy answering questions, and that's the most fun part for me. Because I get to sit in my basement and do this in silence all the time, or with something running in the background. Nope. I sold a circulated 72 no FG for $20. That's if it would get the designation. Yeah, I had one that was in decent shape, and I sold it for $50. So Jordan, what you just said is true of every numismatic coin. Grade makes a gigantic difference. You can have a coin that in extra fine will be $80 and in mint state will be $2,000. I mean, the grade means everything. All right, getting into roll number 16. Deal Smith, I agree with you. There is nothing I like more than popping open a box of $50 and finding silver enders. I mean, I just get the biggest kick out of that. I get so excited when I get home because I do usually crack these at the bank because I have actually more than once been gypped by an entire roll in a bank wrapped box. And so now I do typically crack them at the bank. And I know for like my live streams and stuff, if I know I'm selling rolls or if we're doing it for like a giveaway kind of thing, I won't crack them at the bank, but I will cut a hole in the box so I can, a small hole in the box so I can make sure they're circulated. But they usually don't get home before they're opened and at least the top rack checked for enders. Nothing else so far. So we got 44 in the chat, it looks like. So let me know, guys. I know some of you may be new to the channel. Some of you guys I recognize from comments for anywhere from weeks to months. Let me know what you guys are thinking about my content, because I'm trying to always improve and think of new and different things. But coin roll hunting is kind of like scratching lottery tickets, right? I mean, it is what it is. You know, you get lottery tickets, you scratch them, you win or you lose, and you move on to your next video. So I'm trying to think of new and different content to help expand the viewership and trying to get more views and these kinds of things, like anybody who's doing YouTube. Because at the end of the day, I mean, I spent 18 months making videos that nobody watched, and now I'm actually making videos that people are watching, and I really appreciate it, and I want more people to see. So I say it in most of my videos, I appreciate feedback. I really do. It just has to be constructive feedback. I had a guy comment today on one of my videos. He literally wrote, boring. That's what he wrote in my video. That was his comment, was boring. I don't know what to do with that. So American Eagle Hoarder says, I've recently had 2 boxes missing a roll each. Yep. And last year I had a box with 2 rolls missing. I believe you completely, American Eagle Hoarder. It's happened to me multiple times and from different banks. Shoot, I just rolled that thing up and didn't look at a coin. Hey, Felix, thanks for subscribing. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Let me do this because I don't know which one that came out of. Let me set those two aside. Give me 1 second. I'm going to give you another little pro tip here. That's really obvious. Oh, so just like I did, I missed a roll somewhere. And just like you can weigh rolls to see if you've got 90% silver in it, you can weigh rolls to double check your wrapping job. And you typically want to put it on grams because it makes life a lot easier. I need to get new batteries in this thing. Hopefully you can see it. But there it is. There's my roll that's short. It should be around 225, not 214. So that is in fact my roll that I shorted. I do that for every denomination when I rewrap them. I actually weigh them before I put them back in the box to make sure that, you know, the tellers, wherever I end up taking them, they can open any roll and it'll be perfect. Now pennies, that becomes difficult because if you miss a single copper, the weight will be off. So Old World Billy Goat says, what are my thoughts on the vault box and the new grading system? So I'm a creature of habit. I don't like the new grading system. I love the idea of the vault box because it introduces immediate collectability and scarcity. So from a collector perspective, I love the idea. But I'm not a huge fan of this saying, you know, we've dealt with mint state numbers and extra fine numbers, and now we're going to a 1 through 10 scale. That I guess it just needs to grow on me a little bit. At least that's my first impression. So I've never bought any of the vault boxes, or like PCGS, I think just did the Ultra Breaks. I was watching, they're on their second or third generation of the Ultra Breaks. I think that's another kind of genius marketing idea. At the end of the day, you're getting MS-70 coins with a different color label on it, and it immediately makes one more valuable than the other just because of the color of the label. So again, kudos to the marketing geniuses over there. But I do, as a collector, you love anything that automatically makes something scarce or unique. Hey, Armando. How are you, sir? So Old World Billy Goat, hopefully I answered your question. That's about the best I have, though. You do nothing with it. You can't please everyone. If you try, you will drive yourself crazy. Well, there's some truth to that. I do drive myself crazy trying to please everyone sometimes. So Richard's on the fence, like I just said. What microscope do I use? I use a OPQ, like super duper expensive microscope because I got it for free to review it. You can find that review on my channel. And for the better part of 2 years, maybe almost 3, I used the little $39 digital pluggable scope from Amazon. So I recommend them both. The nice thing about the super high dollar one I have is that it is completely standalone. Meaning, you know, if I wanted to just go throw that on the kitchen table and hunt coins and not have to have my computer and a bunch of other stuff, I could do that. It has an SD card in it for taking pictures and taking video. And it has like a 10.5-inch LCD 1080p screen on it. So it's really nice. Now it retails for like $250 or something crazy like that. But like I said, I got it free for reviewing it. So they make lower end versions of it that I would also recommend. I think they go as low as like 4-inch screens. So I think I'd recommend something like that as well if you wanted a standalone scope. But if you have a computer or a laptop, that little $39 jobby from Amazon, it's in the link of all my videos, or the link is in the description of all my videos. I think I have it for the high dollar scope as well. But both of them will work fine. What's a vault box? Deal Smith says, what's a vault box? So NGC, and I'll do a very bad job of describing it, but if you go to NGC's website and look for vault box, you'll see what it is, but it's where, I don't remember if you get one coin or a couple of coins, but it's one of those things. It's like a mystery box with coins in it. And they tell you up front, you know, here's how many are in the population of each type of coin that you could potentially get in your vault box. And again, they do red labels and white labels and all this other kind of stuff. And, you know, so many of the coins are 10s and et cetera, et cetera. And it's basically like like a lottery, you know. It's, hey, I'm going to get a box, and I know I've got a 1 in 10 chance of getting this kind of coin and a 1 in 20 chance of getting this kind of coin. And, you know, you might get lucky and get a $5,000 coin in your little vault box that you spent $2.99 on. Or you might get a coin that's only worth $2.99. So you're gambling a little bit. So Old World Billy Goat, you know, the premise is fine because, to your point, it lines up with sporting goods, and it makes it more accessible to the average person, right? In what world do you tell somebody that doesn't understand coins that the highest grade is MS70? It means nothing. But if you told somebody, hey, I got this coin and it's a 10 out of 10, they know what that means inherently, right? To your point, just like baseball cards. So Richard, the $39 guy is probably the one I was talking about, so I agree with you. You don't need to spend lots of money on your microscope. So you are correct, Rolando. I don't go real deep on the, you know, ultra rare, older, key date, you know, purchasing those things, only because, again, limited budget, and that stuff gets real expensive real quick. And I really haven't developed the channel and do enough live streams to try to like do auctions and stuff to be able to raise money to buy that kind of stuff, to talk about, you know what I mean? It's like, I hear you and I would love to do it. And I still, one of these days, I was actually pricing it out the other day of doing a couple of different like mystery grab bags from some people you guys are probably already watching, like Coin Help You. I know Silver Seeker's got a mystery box. There's a couple of folks on eBay that are really well known for their mystery boxes. So I thought about doing a series of those. And actually sat down and started thinking through the format and how I'd do it. So that's something I'll probably get into. And I have just had the desire to say I'm going to go up to my, you know, LCS or something and buy like, you know, $100 face and 90% silver and bring it home, and we'll lay it out and go through it together. If you want to see old stuff, if you go back through my channel, I bought a coin collection about 2 years ago that I spent like $5 or $6 or something $1,000 on that had a bunch of really cool old stuff in it. So if you want to see the old stuff, that's probably one of the cooler videos of mine you should watch, because the guy had all kinds of, I had a whole gold typeset in it too, which was pretty cool. The new one is one coin, red label or black label. Wow. But thanks, Rolando, for the feedback. That's you are right. I don't spend a lot of time on that. So a couple of shiny edges there. What time is it? All right, it's 10 o'clock. I gotta speed things up here. We're never gonna finish this box. So are you saying, Emil, that the vault box is $295? I wouldn't doubt it, that it were $299. I want to say the new Ultra Break stuff that they just did was kind of the same thing. I think it was $249, and you were getting a 2023 Morgan dollar or a 2023 Peace dollar, and they were going to come with Ultra labels, gold labels, or platinum labels. And the platinum label, there were like 10 of them out of 500 coins. The golds were like 1 in 10, and there were only 500 coins of each, like 500 Morgans and 500 Peace dollars. And then the ultras filled up all the rest. But I want to say, you know, each little pack was $249, and you'd open it just like you'd open a, you know, set of Pokemon cards or baseball. You know, you'd rip the top off, and there was just a PCGS graded coin in it. So the Ultra Breaks sold out immediately, and I'm sure the Vault Box typically sells out within a few hours. Enigma Coin Collectors did a video on it earlier this week. I guess he had it pulled up during his lunch break and just kept refreshing his screen, and it kept saying he couldn't order, and by the time the page loaded, they were already sold out. So, sounds like they're going through some growing pains like the U.S. Mint did. It's also, though, because people have realized that, you know, if you spend the $249 on it, you can wait about a week and double your money 9 times out of 10, because, again, they've introduced the immediate scarcity. I know it's kind of cruddy looking, but it just looked funny. Oh. So John Peak for me, if you watch my silver purchase videos, I kind of split 50-50 between, you know, what would be considered solid stacking advice, right? Get the cheapest silver you can get, mixed with more collectible things. Because at the end of the day, if it's collectible, it doesn't depend on the spot price, right? I mean, if you buy a Star Wars round that was $65 when spot was $21, well, if spot drops to $15, do you think that that same Star Wars silver round is going to drop to $15? No, it might drop to $62, but it'll still be worth way more money than a typical round would be worth, because your Indian head rounds will drop with the spot price, like, what's the right word, in a parallel fashion. Whereas your collectible stuff typically won't. Typically. All right, we are on roll 24. I would love to find a couple more silvers in here. We've got 2. Yep, so don't go crazy, I would say. And I would say I don't always buy the best collectible stuff. Somebody who has a fairly proven track record is Empire Precious Metals. He buys some pretty high dollar collectible stuff, and he has more hits than misses for sure. But I also know there's been some stuff that he'll go out and buy that's not just like a little over spot or double spot. I mean, there were these, I want to say it was like these little silver guns. It was like, you know, 1.5 ounces of silver, and they were, I don't know, $150. But they were selling like hotcakes. I mean, he made money on every, like, not just a little money, like a lot of money on every single one that he sold. But he also has a dealer account, so he's getting the absolute lowest prices on these things, which makes it easier for him. But I would pay attention to him if you're looking to get into collectible silver. Or gold. He does a lot of gold too. All right, roll 25. Tell you what, this was way more fun than filming a video tonight. I sold my first little mat too the other day, which was kind of nice. This little mat that I've been on, I've made a little bit of a big deal out of it a few times. Sold my first one the other day. That was kind of fun. I want to find some time to sit down and do some other, you know, designs. This was just something I threw together one afternoon because I needed a new mat, and I thought, well, if I need a new mat, I may as well design one for me and have it printed. So, but that was pretty cool. All right, here we get into roll number 26. I wanted to be gray, but it's not. 2 Seated Liberty 1853 arrows with rays, 50-cent pieces, and an 1858 O. What's the value on them? I don't know off the top of my head. You'd have to go on PCGS, which we just did a minute ago. I showed everybody how to do that. And check out what they're worth. and grade is everything. So, you know, if they're slick, if they're in G4, they're going to be one price. If they're mint state, they will be a vastly different price. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the microscope. He said 1858 seated with raise, $50. I don't know if they did it with raise. What did he say? 1953. My bad. So if they were arrows raised with 53, that would have to be quarters. Unless there is another, oh, maybe here, 1853. There you go, with raise, 1853, and G4 it's worth 90, and mint state 60, it's worth 1850. So I can't tell you, somewhere in there. So you can go out to PCGS and look that up too. eBay is another good place to go to see what the going rate is, but it also, it's worth, if it's a higher grade, it may be worth sending it in to get it graded. You know, spend the $100 to get it graded if it's going to make it a $2,000 coin, right? Muscle Shell, what could be fun? Hanging out with me tonight? I appreciate that. eBay has a lot of randomness in its sales, and it has a massive cut on the sales price. So that's one reason I've kind of, I still use them, don't get me wrong, but I try to use them as little as possible. Simply because if you sell a $100 item, you're going to basically take home about 80 bucks, give or take. After you deal with your shipping, pay their fees, and all that other nonsense. But PCGS will be your friend to get a good idea for value. And then again, eBay is not a bad place to go to validate that, because you may see, you know, again, a graded coin, it says it's $200 and you go on eBay and they're selling for 50. Well, are they selling for graded 50 on eBay or raw 50 on eBay? Because that'll tell you if it maybe if it's worth getting graded, because you'll also see the big swing there. I call it the eBay mafia. Yeah, it's gotten worse and worse over the years. It really has. But, you know, when you just got stuff laying around the house you need to get rid of and you don't necessarily care and you're just happy to get a little bit of money for it, I love eBay for that. You know, it's like this was something I was going to throw away and somebody just gave me money for it and I didn't have to leave my house. That's a wonderful thing. That's got right scratches on it. I'm not even gonna look at it. Why don't you start creating a Barber Dime or Liberty Nickel set? So I actually have a handful of Liberty Nickels and I have 2 or 3 Barber Dimes. The problem is, where do I get those things that I could afford? Meaning, like, I'm never gonna find those things in a coin roll hunt. And my issue is my local coin shops are a giant ripoff. So then I got to find them some other way, right? So it's kind of a supply and demand problem for me more than anything. I do love the V-nickel. I have a bunch of 1853, basically mint state V-nickels. They've got tarnish on them, but they're mint state, you know, details. Unfortunately, they are I think it's the no sense version. Or maybe it's the sense version. It's the lower end of the two. Because there was one that the bootleggers back in the day were painting gold and passing them off as gold pieces. Oh, Rick's back in. You're absolutely right. You definitely want to, when you look at eBay, don't look at listings, look at sold. Because that's what somebody actually paid for. Because anyone can go on and list something for $2,000. All right. This is on a 72D. That is clearly an FG. Even though that F is starting to wear away, because you can see the G, it is not a no FG. We were having that conversation a little bit ago. So, Rolando, I am working on a Walker set. I think you were here in the beginning. I'm still missing a bunch of them, but I've got a lot of them. I'm probably missing 12 or 15 to complete the set. I need to get me a box like Hunting Southwest Ohio and Walker Magnet had the other day. Like $900 worth of silver in that box. I want one of those. It's a good question, Richard. See what everybody else has to say. So Emil's favorite is the Benji, and I think judging from the logo on my website or on my channel, I think you could probably guess Benji's one of my favorites. I actually do think there's a lot of beauty in the Morgan design. The Morgan dollar, I think, is a beautiful, beautiful design. It is also one of my favorites on American currency. So Rolando, that is the problem with a lot of the SLQs. Most of them they're worn pretty slick, and finding one that's got all the detail in it's pretty tough. And when you do, they're pretty expensive. Peace dollars, I think, have a nice design. I just don't think it's as nice as the Morgan. But that's a personal preference. That's me. I mean, you know, anybody has their own favorites. I do like, you know, older coins I like just because they're not something you see every day. But I don't know of a lot of them that I just look at and I'm like, now that is a gorgeous coin. You know, like, I wish our coins still looked like that. So part of me, I appreciate the old stuff because it's old and you don't see it anymore. You'll have a complete peace dollar set decades before Morgan. Yeah, Morgan's, that's another one of those things that, you know, I should probably sit down and see if I were to say, you know, could I complete a set, which I know I couldn't. But how many of them do I actually have? Because I have, I want to say, 2 tubes of them, give or take, maybe 2.5, I think. But I have a lot of 1921s. And you also have to understand, I'm the kind of guy that'll go in pawn shops and be like, I want 10 of these things, and I'll give you $26 a piece. And then I'll sit there and hassle you to death until you give them to me for around $26 a piece. So I've actually, my dollar cost average on Morgans is pretty low. I mean, none of them are going to be mint state 65, but they're not terrible either. That's a real pretty bicentennial. I'm not even going to look at the end. Hunting Southwest Ohio. I love the barbers too. I wish I found more of them, that's for sure. I have one trade dollar. And it's one of my favorite coins only because I have one of them. John Peak, were you asking me, is it the 21D that I have or just I have a bunch of 21s? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I could show you a barber, Michael. It wouldn't be in person, but I can show you one on camera. Nice job, Adam. That's awesome. Let me grab a barber for you just so you can see one. Couple of interesting ones for you, but that's a barber if you've never seen one. It's a 1914 barber half, 1914S. So this I found coin roll hunting. Somebody had asked me earlier. This one I know I found in a coin roll hunt. And it's G4 at best. Maybe G6, but probably G4. So that's a barber. And if you've never seen one of these things really clean, and this, I say clean, like this is uncirculated. I don't believe it's been dipped or anything. This came from a collector. It was in a flip when I got it. I've taken real good care of it, but 1893 Peak Columbus commemorative. Real pretty coin. Hopefully that's focused okay for you. Anyway, those are two cool coins. Yep, I don't even know what it's worth. I probably should look that up, but I've been sitting on that one for a number of years. Oh, the paper was hiding it. Look what we just found. Look what we found. I love it. You gotta love finding that stuff. We have ourselves a 1969 Denver. That's 3 on the box. Backfilling, so we have 20. That's awesome. It's an NIFC. Oh, it's a 2022 Philly. Not an NIFC, but it's pretty. Somebody wrote on it. So, hunting Southwest Ohio, I have to ask, because I know you've got a really good relationship with your LCS. You and I have talked about this, and you buy quite a bit of stuff, but I also know you collect some of it, you sell some of it or auction some of it on your channel, but like, I mean, some of the stuff you buy is not cheap, man. Like, I don't necessarily want you to give me a number, but I have a feeling you spend quite a bit of money with your LCS let's say every month. Just confirm or deny if it's a reasonable amount of money you're spending in there every month, because just my LCS, dude, I could buy so much more anywhere other than my LCS. Oh, if my 14S was a quarter, I know. That would have been wonderful. Emil, I bet you're feeling kind of silly right now. An AU set of peace dollars. Oh, that would have been worth a lot of money today. But, I mean, who knew, right? I mean, $600 that long ago was a lot of money. You could buy a car for $600 30 years ago. Not a nice car, but a car. Update my little thingy here. We got, I don't have anybody yelling at me to update the board, which is weird. Yeah, it's I've got a rather extensive comic book collection, and I spent like 2 hours last night. Well, I won't say extensive. It's more modern stuff, but it's a lot of comic books. I'll put it that way. And I was looking through eBay for stuff that's really hot right now, and there's a couple of books that were, you know, not huge money, but trending in like the $150 range that I was going through going, I know I have that book, and I went into my little inventory, and they were books I sold like 2 years ago. And I made good money on them 2 years ago, but I'd have made a lot more money on them had I waited till now. All right, guys, give me just a second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. So you just traded, Brian says he traded a couple of 64 Kennedys for a Barber half, quarter, and dime. That's pretty cool. I would do something like that just to have one if I didn't have one. I'm really kind of sick of looking at 71s tonight. Who was that? Dumps15 has become a member. I appreciate that, Dumps. Thank you so much. Silver Hunter Fan Club. Now, one of the things you get as being in any of the membership levels, you do get to view my videos before I release them to the general public, which many times it's only really about a day before. I have one out there right now that I actually posted Monday or Tuesday, and actually asked all my members to watch it first and give me feedback on how I should change it. And then I took their feedback and changed it. So I deleted it and reposted it. So I'm probably going to release that tomorrow. So that is one of the benefits of being even at the bottom tier, which I think is like $1.99. So don't get me wrong, I don't have a ton of extra content just laying out there, but if you were one of those people that likes to see the content early, or want to be able to take part, and sometimes when I post something and just need some feedback, you get to be part of that group. But I really, really appreciate you becoming a member. Thank you so much. Something I haven't found in a good long while is a magic coin. So American Stacker, I love hunting halves because it's easy. And I think I screwed up again. Hang on. I don't remember if I backfilled that last silver. I don't remember how many rolls ago it was. I'm just checking real quick. All right, I did. I backfilled it. And I did hunt this one, right? I'm pretty sure I did. Hunting silver in Wisconsin. Hey, Dumps15, no problem. I really enjoy making these videos, and you know, that's something I've been toying with in my head lately. Like, if I were to just stop doing this YouTube channel, is this something that I would still do, like, as much as I'm doing it now? And I had to be honest with myself for a minute, in that I would probably hunt a little less. Because I do feel, since I have the channel and I have people that do seem to enjoy my content, that, and I mean, there's a whole monetization piece of it as well. So, you know, the time I put in, I do get a little bit of money back out of it. But I was like, how much less would I really do? And there's just some things I would stop hunting altogether. I don't know how many, you know, penny hunts I'd be real excited to go do, but I'd probably lay off quarters for a little while. But I've already completed 2 books. But hunting halves and doing this dollar series I've been doing, the dollar series has just been like a ton of fun. I wish I could figure out what made the first video so good or interesting for people, because the very first video I did in the dollar series got like 11,000 views. And I mean, it's still getting views. It's just, it's what, at 10 and 11,000 views right now. And each subsequent episode of the series gets less and less views. So I'm like, either I'm not doing something right, or it's just I got a lot of views because people were interested for the first one to see what it was like. But anyway, I'm rambling at this point. So Dumps found a magic coin a couple of weeks ago, but have been unable to find the opener. Well, Dumps 15, I 3D print the openers. So I have them in my store. I'll be honest with you. I have to put them in a padded envelope, which means they're $3 in shipping. So check out my website. It might be worth you grabbing something else in there, so you're not paying the $5 shipping to get a, you know, a dollar piece of 3D printed material. But give it a look, and shoot me an email. Let me know if there's anything you find or you're interested in. But I do actually 3D print those little openers. So Michael says, I'd mostly be done as soon as I close all the gaps in my coin books, those that I'm likely to find anyway. And that's, so Michael, what you just said is kind of why I said I would lay off quarters for a little while. The W's are getting harder to find. I find very little silver, and I've already completed 2 full sets from 1965 to 2022. So, you know, a lot of the excitement in quarters is gone, unless I'm able to get, you know, a big W, you know, dump, or find a bunch of silver, or I need to start another set of books, you know. I do have a ton to fill out my penny books, but I don't know how many boxes I've done, and I haven't been able to add a single pre-40s penny to the books, and it's like, it's killing me. So yeah, the dollar coins, the thing that bugs me the most is the edge lettering, but it was really only bad for the first episode or 2 because you're filling out most of your books. You know, you're getting I say the majority. You're going to get more book fillers in that first, you know, $1,000 or $2,000 worth of coins. And like the last box I went through, there were tons of coins. I didn't bother even looking at the edge because, you know, they were in terrible shape. I wasn't putting them in a book, so I don't care what mint mark they are. Right? So there's some truth to that, Michael, but the nice thing is, because they did so many designs, the quality control was so bad on a lot of the state and national park quarters that there's lots of little die chip errors and die cracks, and there are interesting things to look for. It's just, at some point, there's a 2021, if anybody cares. But there's only so many like extra cactus errors you can find before you kind of stop looking for them. It was like the 6th claw, the 2008 6th claw Alaska was a big deal for a while until people realized like 85% of the Alaska quarters had the 6th claw. There's a 2014 NIFC. That was an ender, didn't know it. Throw that up there. And backfill. Show what to look for in a magic coin. Sure, yeah. Give me a second here. Let's just do this. Let me grab one. Yep. So here is a 1971 magic coin. For those of you, hey, good night, Hunting Southwest Ohio. Appreciate you joining us, bud. Appreciate it. This is a 1971 magic coin. Hopefully you guys can hear this, but they sound funny. They sound hollow because they are. The other thing, hopefully you guys can see that. 0, 0. If I put a regular $half, we're at 11.1. You're going to be 11.2 sometimes. Magic coin, 10.2. So typically almost an entire gram light. The other telltale sign, now, yeah. So with this one, the head's up. So when I do this, the eagle should be up. But the eagle's upside down. And it's because it's two halves that are put together. When you have a little ring like this, like I 3D printed, and the camera's going to shake when I do this, but you fit that in there, and it takes a tap, and it separates into two pieces. So that is your magic coin. But with that little ring thing there, it just pops right out. And the magic trick is, I mean, there's a lot of variations of it, but it's one of those things where you say, I have like a Mexican coin, I have a silver coin. Tell you what, I really only have one coin, right? It just disappears. But again, because of the way I put it together, now the eagle's sideways. So that's the other way you can tell. So there you go. There is a magic coin. I didn't make a tool for it. Actually, if you buy a magic coin, it comes with a brass ring that looks like that. And I used to be a magician many, many years ago, so I actually have the brass ring. And I just, one day I couldn't find it, and I'm like, I have a 3D printer, I'll just make one. So it took me about 5 minutes to design one in the 3D Maker software, and I just started printing them. So now I have like 10 of them floating around the house. And I thought, there's enough people finding magic coins, I should just put it in my store and sell them. So there you have it. 6 West Points. Wow. Was that in one box there, John Peak? So Armando, you went through a box of 23 $half and you found a blank planchet? Because that'll be worth a few bucks. A blank planchet half will be worth something. Richard DeShong says, got a top pop graded Millard Fillmore dollar in a mystery pack priced at $17. That's nice. I didn't realize how valuable some of those dollar coins were in kind of mint state condition. Because most people don't care too much about them. I mean, obviously when you have a full collection, they're valuable. But I was kind of shocked to see, to your point, that some of these things are $10, $15, $20, and they're pretty new. So we are on roll 41, for those of you that care. So we're getting towards the end of the stream. So if you've been lurking and you have a question that I haven't answered, or a question you want to ask, now would be the time. We've got maybe 15 or 20 minutes left. Not to say those of you that haven't been participating, you are welcome to continue to ask questions. Because this was the whole reason I did this tonight, was I just wanted to hang out with some people and go through this box of $half. And for those of you that are wondering, I am going to do an end of stream giveaway for one of these $half we found. So, and that will be a thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for being a part of the channel for just these last couple of hours. So we will do a giveaway for a 40% $half. I grudgingly search new coin rolls just to hopefully find planchet errors. So Remy, if you I think you did watch the $250 mixed coin hunt I did the other day, and I even said it during the video. The 10 rolls of quarters that I got, 7 of the 10 were all Kanaka Oles, and I've hunted like a whole box of Kanaka Oles. So looking at $500 of the same quarter about drove me nuts. And the idea of going through 7 more full rolls for that particular video, I didn't think anyone would enjoy it, and I knew I wouldn't enjoy it. So I I kind of called the audible and said, I'm going to drive around and, you know, go to Publix or Kroger or something and see if they'll swap me out for a couple of new rolls. And the Publix, and it was like on a Saturday, late Saturday or something, so I couldn't go to the bank. And the Publix by me, the grocery store by me, was willing to trade me out for some circulated rolls. So I agree with you. I think hunting new dollars can be fun, especially if you find something new, but you got to be in the right frame of mind, because you start going blind after a little while of looking at the same design over and over again. So let's see here. Showtime says, I'm sure this has been asked before. The black and white wrapped ones the black and white ones better than the, yeah, we talked about this at the beginning. The short answer is, it depends. So for me, yes, the black and white rolls are better than the yellow rolls. If you go talk to one roll at a time, he's going to tell you the yellow rolls do fantastic, because he finds silver all the time in the yellow rolls. I find very little silver in yellow rolls here in Georgia. I think it depends on where you live. I think it depends on the banks. I think it depends on the population around, you know, where that coin is being collected, wrapped, and redistributed. So the short answer is, I prefer black and white rolls. You kind of have to hunt in your area and come to the determination yourself. So Showtime, let me know if that answered your question, because I don't think there's a best rolls to hunt. I think you need to hunt, and you'll find out from hunting which the best rolls are in your area. Hey, Adam Franklin, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Sorry you couldn't make it to the end, but if you do decide to hang out for 15 more minutes, we will do a giveaway. So, Shakarin, I typically don't do it on my videos. I have done it in my 3D printing videos. I could show it off if you'd like me to here at the end. Let me get through these rolls. I'll wait and do it at the end. And by the way, did you get my package? If not, it should be there very soon. And I think the mat that you ordered should be on its way. I think it actually hit the mail this morning. DHL actually picked it up this morning. All right, Shockwave D, waiting for a $500 box of halves, enjoying my channel. Thank you so much. Cool, John Peak. So you're talking about your W's. It is nice finding like mint state W's. There's nothing worse than finding a W that looks like it's been run over by a truck 5 times because you finally found it and it's worthless, which I have done numerous times. American Stacker, oh yeah, the full boxes of brand new coins stinks. That happened to me over the summer. I got 6 boxes in a row of 2021 Phillies. And it sucks. There was actually the first 4 I hadn't, you know, it was one of those I didn't think it was going to happen. And then the next 2 I actually, when I opened them at the bank, I just told them, I said, will you take these back? And they said no. And so I literally left that bank and drove straight over to another bank and turned them in. I didn't even bother re-rolling them or anything. I just was like, I'm taking the whole box somewhere else. Because sometimes I will re-wrap them just so it looks like they're fresh coin, you know, circulated coin coming back in. But the last 2 boxes, I didn't even bother. Showing it once in a while might get you some sales, and I'm looking forward till tomorrow because it did not show up today. All right. Well, you have a little package, Shakarin, that's got just the couple of things, the coins that you bought. And then the mat will come separately. And like I said, I think, you know, based on where you live, it'll probably be there this weekend, maybe. Did you happen to get an email with the tracking number on it? If not, I can send you that tracking number. So Shakarin, you're going to cash out me $5 for whatever's in your last roll I open. And I have the silver or some sort of mid-error. I have the silver. So hang on, guys. We got silver right here. Shakarin wished it into existence right there. I wasn't even looking. I was reading it while I was opening. Look at that. So Shakarin, are you saying you're going to give me $5 and then I give you any of the silver or errors that's in it, is what you're saying? Is that what I understood? We got a 1968, our third one on the box. Third 68. I'm loving it. I don't think, no, I don't bank at Regions. I do go into them and get coins sometimes. They'll give me stuff even though I don't have an account, some of them. But no, I did not drop them at an Ackworth Regions Bank. Now, I've been into an Ackworth Regions Bank. All right, yeah, well, yeah, Shacker, and we can do that if you want. You can cash at me $5 and the last roll can be yours. I haven't really been selling rolls tonight, but you know what? I'll take it. And I wish we had an error that we found, because I would just go ahead and throw it in your package tonight, but we did not find any errors today so far. I know, time to find a Benji would be nice. Let's see here. They called me and said someone dropped off a box. It was obviously Sierra. Yeah, it happens, man. I did a video and a short on it, the best customer roll I ever had, that had the George Washington commemorative in it. It had like 3 or 4 40% in it. It had like 4 90s with a Walker. I mean, it was just a loaded roll that I got from a Regions Bank in like Dallas, Georgia. And while I was driving out that way, I had the day off, and I was literally just drove somewhere I normally never go, and I stopped at probably a dozen banks. And it was a Wells Fargo I went in. The lady said she had 8 boxes of $50 in the vault. And I was like, you have 8 boxes? And she said, oh, you don't want them. I have a guy just like you that brings them in all the time, and we wait till we have like 10 or 15 boxes, and we send them all back to the Fed. So apparently out in Dallas, Georgia, there's another coin roll hunter who drops all of his stuff at one bank. So how could you coin roll hunt if you went back in time like 100 years and come back? Oh, so it's a conversation we've had on the channel before. Like, how awesome would it have been to be a coin roll hunter in 1967, right? Because every $50 had some level of silver in it. You were probably able to find tons of Benjamin Franklins and Walking Liberties and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know if collecting those things was real big in the 60s. Like, people didn't realize the value of it. And then once you hit 71 and everyone started realizing the silver was coming out, everyone was hoarding it. So odds are, back in 71, every time you went to a bank and asked for change, you were getting brand new change because all the old stuff was already being hoarded. That's my assumption. That's my guess. Because there were tons of coin collectors back in the 70s. I just finished it and it was a skunk box, but I will take it right back to them. That's what it is. So, American Stacker, I've actually watched a couple of the Vermilion Enterprises videos, and they do have really good prices, and I haven't placed an order with them yet. See you, Vincent. Thanks for joining us tonight. I believe that, Emil. All right, Chakrin, what I'm going to do, just so you know, this is roll number 50. I'm going to put it up here on the side because I'm going to accidentally grab it and open it without thinking about you, so I'm just putting it aside. And I'm going to trust you on the Cash App because my phone is my camera. I can't check it, so you're good for it, I know. You're a great friend to the channel, so. I shudder to think how many silver quarters I put in. Oh, you're not kidding, man. I don't know how many, I mean, to what Emil said. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, my grandfather, you know, I spent more time at his house than I did at my own. He had Benjamin Franklin's in the couch cushions and sitting on the countertop. There was silver everywhere in that dude's house. But to me, they were just funny looking $50, you know, when I was 6. So, American Stacker, did you just find a 1964? Or do you think I had a 1964? I will say I pissed off a bunch of gas station people the other day because I was using some of my dollar rolls of coins from my last hunt to buy lottery tickets and to buy Powerball tickets. And the look on their face when I handed them like 3 rolls of dollar coins, they didn't want anything to do with it. All right, we got 3 rolls left, one of them being Shakaran's roll. Hopefully we get a little bit of silver here in these last couple. Coin flip. Have you watched my national debt clock videos by chance? I'll be honest with you, coin flip, I don't think I have. It's been a long time since I've looked at a national debt clock because it's depressing. But I can try to check it out. When you go to the gas station, they give you a dirty look for the dollar coin. Just tell them I had a dirty look when I saw the price of the gas. There's some truth to that. There is some truth to that. This is what you get because gas is so expensive. There is some truth to that. Jordan, you are not wrong. I love finding silver. And this year's been really good because last year I went 28 boxes, I think, twice without finding silver. That's a lot of boxes to not find silver. This year, I'm finding silver like every other box, every third box. It's been great, actually. For me this year. Now, again, I haven't had but maybe one pretty decent big score, if you want to call it that. Maybe 2. And they weren't like crazy epic boxes, but they were decent, right? But I've had a nice steady stream this year, and I will take that all the time. That guy wanted to be gray, but he's not. All right, Shakaran, you're up next, man. So 73. The 71 we'll look at a little better under the scope. All right, we're going to get through this last 2 rolls. We are going to do a giveaway. Let me do this. And then, oh shoot, I think I miswrapped again. Hold up, wait a minute. Come on. No? I don't know where that is. I'm gonna have to reweigh all these rolls. Anyway, oh no, I know what it is. That 71 I put aside on purpose because we were gonna look at it. And then I will show off the coin crimpers if people want to see them. 4. 25. Sorry, that was a little off camera for you. I was just counting. So let's see here. Good luck, Shakaran. Do you go by the monthly coin show in Marietta? I do not. I have been invited to go to the coin show by some viewers a couple of times. My problem is that the weekends are rarely my own anymore. Between my son's basketball, which is actually about to start up, their School of Rock, and my daughter plays competitive volleyball. And so I spend most of my life Saturdays, usually Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at a gymnasium somewhere. So if I'm lucky, I'll get out to the bank and do a little coin roll pickups and drop-offs, and then I am gone the rest of the weekend. So here we go. Shakaran's roll. Our box is done. It's the longest single box hunt on YouTube, but man, did I have a lot of fun. And thank you guys for coming and hanging out. So let's wish good things for Shakaran here. And there is no silver. Wait a minute. Wait. Let's check it again. Let's check it again. Oh, look, there's silver in it. We tried. We tried. So, Fazbear, we found 4 silvers, 3 NIFCs, no varieties. We are on our very last roll. For those of you that are curious, the website I use to price silver is coinapps.com, and I'll show that off here in a second as well. Sorry, man, not even anything to put under the scope, Shakaran, but I'll get with you. We'll figure something out, man. I appreciate you trying. So, what are the slash marks on the edges? So, there's a lot of coin roll hunters now that only hunt for silver, and either they take the wrap off completely, or some of them will just split the paper up the side. They will take their marker and they'll go bloop, so they know it's been searched. So when you see these black marks, it's from someone who's marking coins. I have gotten entire boxes with the lines on them. I've gotten boxes where it's the fed paper with the razor cut, and basically somebody just squeezed so they could see the edges, and they put them right back in the box. But that's what those marks are on the edges. I appreciate it, Shakaran. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. All right, guys, we're going to do the giveaway. I'll do a 68 because, and actually I didn't check these things for all of them for DDOs. Let's do that real quick. Maybe if we find a DDO on one, that'll be the one we give away. So nothing there, nothing there. Nada. And nothing. So we'll give away a 1968 unless whoever wins just really wants a 1969. And real quick, while I'm thinking about it, let's do this. You guys can see this. Let's do, everyone's eligible. We're going to do a keyword. Keyword is going to be silver. Just type in the word silver if you guys don't mind. And you'll see a little blue dot coming up by your name if you've done that. And that means you are eligible for the drawing. And we will draw that in just a second. But I did want to come over here and show you guys. And sorry if I sound far away. My microphone needs to move. If we go to Coin Apps, it's a great website. You can do Canadian silver, copper pennies, gold, you name it. It's in here. Nickel melt value, copper by scrap, so on and so forth. But for U.S. coinage, it's really nice because I can come in here and say, I found 4 40% half dollars, and it will tell me based on current melt price, the melt value of that silver, $12.96. That does not include your premiums, right? So 40% silver doesn't carry much premium. So I would say if I were selling these, I'd probably go like $13.50 or $14 for the 4 of them. That's just off the cuff. I'd probably sit down and really do the math if I were really trying to sell them. But the other reason I like this thing, if you ever want to know what the multiplier is on 90% silver at melt, just come in here and say I got 2 90% half dollars. So melt multiplier is 15.8. So if you're paying 20 times face today, you are paying 4.15x over melt. Right? That's a lot. So anyway, that's just how I do it. So 15.8x is a steal today. Most places are 18 to 20. So there you have it. Okay, let's get back to our live stream here. And actually, we'll go back to the desktop. That's not what I meant to do. Let's go back here. Let's go here. I'll give you guys maybe like 20 more seconds to go ahead and put in the word silver, and we will draw somebody, and then I will show off the little coin crimpers real quick, and then I'm going to call it a night. It's almost 11 o'clock. Thank you guys for coming. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. This was a ton of fun. It's exactly what I wanted. It was more Q&A and conversation than it was about coin roll hunting. Now, the coin roll hunting happened to work out because we found some silver, which is just a bonus. So, let's go ahead and roll this thing in 5, 4, 3, 2, and rolling it. Dumps15, who is a channel member as of this evening, is the winner. Congratulations, Dumps15. Just let me know you're in the chat. Say something. Make sure you're still here and didn't just put a comment in and leave. So just say hi. Let us know you're there. And you do need to go ahead and email me because I need to know where to send this thing. So my email is on my live stream screen. It will be here in a second. You can also put in hashtag email and it will tell you my email address. My email is in my about page. Shoot me an email. I need to know what to put on the letter to send this to you. Otherwise, I can't send it. So please do that. I'm always surprised when I do these giveaways. People don't claim it, and then I just get to keep it. So make sure you do that. Let me go get my crimps here real quick because Shakaran asked to see that, and we're going to do that for him. And actually, it is pretty cool if you've never seen these things work. Okay, sorry. Had to do a couple of things here. So that one belongs to Dumps. Our NIFCs will go back to the bank, but I just went ahead and grabbed this as in something I cut the end off to make this work because you do need a nice clean end. Here's some 1941 nickels. Just to show you guys how this works. Let me load this up real quick. I probably could have done this a different way and it would have been faster, but that's okay. There we go. Guy looked like he wanted to be silver. Okay, so here we have it. We have our roll of nickels. That's probably not quite enough space because I did clip this just so it would work. I do brand these things with my little name here, Georgia Silver Hunter. It's a little, it's got the, you know, an N, a D, a P, or a Q, or an H in it. But it's really simple. You fill them up, you hold it kind of sideways and just slowly turn. And put a little bit of pressure. And when you're done, you have a nice, pretty, crimped off roll. So it's great if you are putting your coins for like storing them in a little box or a little bin or in your safe. All your rolls will stand up because they're not flipped over. So when I do make full rolls of like bicentennial quarters, or like you saw, this is a 41 thing. If I run out of these tubes, this is exactly what I do. I use those crimpers to just crimp off the ends. I write what I've got in it, and they just go right into the little box or the little collection that I have. So I do for $20, I think it's $20 or $25 donation. It's on my website. You can get a whole set of these, penny, nickel, dime, quarter, half, and if you really want one, I can do the small dollar or the large dollar. The large dollar one, I'll be honest with you, it does not work great. The small dollar one works really well, and I've used it before. So anyway, that's a little sales ad for these things, but there they are. What do you guys think about that? So yes, Faz, that coyote, I do sell them. I'll put my website here in the... There's the website. It's not great. I haven't spent a ton of time on it, but it has some stuff in there. And if there's things you've seen me find or there are things you're interested in, let me know and I can always add it. I actually added a couple of things today. Richie Rich just subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing. The person that said, I only found the 268s, Rolando, no, I found 3 68s and a 69 and 3 NIFCs. I think you disappeared there at the end and we did find some. That darn Ring of Death. So the Ring of Death is actually caused by something like this. But the big high-speed rollers they have at the Mint, this little thing you see here that creates the lip burns into the coin. And with this 3D printed material, you're not going to burn anything into a coin. So, and again, there's my crimped edge. So, and I think I hit my camera because it's all off kilter here. Sorry about that, guys. So what else do we have here? Because I am pretty much done for the night. Yeah, I do sell them. Online store, absolutely. Pretty neat. Also changed my name just now, so don't worry about getting the full name out. Yeah. I had a long phone call I had to handle. No worries. Gotta go. Got to bed so I can wake up. I know. I got to get up at like 6:30 tomorrow morning. It's going to be terrible. So Lee, the Ring of Death, and I don't have one handy, I don't think, but the Ring of Death is when you find a coin. I'll just use one of these. And you see a scratch that goes in a circle, like a perfect circle all the way around the edge of the coin, like, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 millimeters on the inside. It's called the Ring of Death because it's actually scratched into the coin from the coin rolling machines. And you'll find a bunch of them when you do boxes. You see them on every major denomination, and it's awful when you find I mean, I found W's that have Ring of Death on them, and the coins become worthless at that point. So 490 percenters is not bad. We did the math on it a little bit ago. We determined it's $15.85 in melt. So yeah, American Stacker, they work pretty well. They do take some patience. You're not going to want to roll 2,000 rolls in one day with them, but if you're just using them for your collection, they work quite nice. And I want to say Shacker, and he's burned through tons of them because I think he's bought a set or two from me. So yep, Faz, we'll get you next time. I just threw this together. It was last minute. I didn't schedule it, but I think 15 minutes before. Congratulations that they smashed it. It was university, so was it like concert band, orchestra? Was it like a rock band? Help us out here, because my kids do School of Rock and they're in the school orchestra, so I experience both. So I'm always excited when people either perform or get to go see a good show. Tex-Mex, hey man, glad you could come. This channel is kind of all about sharing information as well as just showing off the finds and doing the coin roll hunts. The video I have coming out is going to be like an informational video. It's not, the next video won't be a coin roll hunt. It will be more how do we deal with all these coins once we're done hunting. So that's the next video. Let's see here. Shakaran says, question for you. I found a 70-something $half in good condition, except a portion of the way it was just not there. What do you think it is? I don't know what that means. Write that again in a different way. Ask your question differently. A 70-something $half in good condition, except a portion of the way. I don't know what that means. Thanks, American Stacker. Appreciate it, bud. Thanks for coming. Oh, well, good. All right, tenor sax. That's a heavy sax. That's a big saxophone, but awesome. Good for you, man. So yeah, if you mean like half of the face looks really good and the other half is really muddled, and muddy looking, then yeah, it could be a strike through grease error. Absolutely. Coin flip. So the half the wing missing, that's either from wear or it's a grease error. Absolutely. Coin flip nailed it. Or it is, if it doesn't look worn, it is a grease error. If it's, there are things called pocket coins, right? From where people that, and they're usually on Morgans and peace dollars, where people would just, keep these in their pockets and do this. And over 2 or 3 years, the acid in your fingers and the pressure and your fingerprints are basically like sandpaper, right? You're just going to wear that off. But if it's just a part of a coin, it's probably a grease strike. G.A. Silver, you interested in some OBW first-year state quarter rolls? Rolando, I am not. I wish I was, but I am just not. Thanks, John Peak. And hey, thanks for joining the membership today. Really appreciate it. Like I said, that video I was talking about releasing tomorrow, you can already get out there and see it today. And I'd love to hear the feedback. I actually had somebody comment on a video that I did earlier this week. They were mad because somebody had commented on it 1 or 2 days before I posted it, and they were like, how is this possible? Blah, blah, blah. And it was like, well, it came from a member, and the members see it as soon as I post it, right? So if I make the video on a Monday and post it on a Wednesday, you're going to have 2 days to see that video and comment on it before anyone else. And it just kind of ruffled somebody's feathers this week. I thought it was kind of funny. Funny story, bought a lot of wheats just this past week. at like $5. Found an 09 VDB. Oh my God, that's awesome. That 09 VDB is worth well more than the $5 you paid. Well more, way more. Congratulations on that. What else? I think I'm going to wrap it up here, guys, unless there's any more burning questions. All right, then. Well, I'll tell you what, you guys take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I say that at the end of all my videos, and I truly mean it. If you see anything you like or don't like about the channel, please do give me feedback. I always appreciate hearing it, especially if it's constructive feedback, something that I can act on. And if you have friends that are into this, make sure you do share these videos with them, because every new subscriber helps. So you guys take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.